Okay, so whenever we want to do one kind of spoken communication, so while doing our spoken communication or while doing a one kind of interaction, so we are using these words for the specific purposes. We have a one kind of specific purpose while using this word. So let us try to understand what are the various kinds of words that we are also using in the context of the business, in the context of industry, and in our spoken English. So let us try to know about these words. Okay. For example, if we consider that you have your own business, and whenever you have your own business, so we are using these kinds of words in our business. So the words like the trade, okay, the dealings, investments, okay, enterprise, association, dealer, multinational. So these are all the various kinds of words which we are specially using in the context of the business. Okay, if you are belonging from the students of MBA, so your work will be to prepare the list of words which are used by the management. Okay, what are the words that we are using, especially in agriculture? If some students are belonging from the agricultural sector, agricultural field, so what exactly they want to do? They also want to collect the list of those words which are used in the agricultural field. Okay, those students who are doing the BCA, MCA, they want to also collect the list of some of the words that are related with the science, that are related with the technology. So that's why it is related with our, you want to decide first of all, what is your stream, you are belonging from which stream, and according to your stream, according to your branch, you are going to acquire your command over the vocabulary. So that's it. Whenever you are trying to acquire the words, if you are belonging from the business, so your work will be to know the more and more words from the business. If one of the lawyer is there, what the lawyer he will do? The lawyer he will try to use some kinds of legal terms. If some of the medical, if one doctor is there, what the doctor he will try to do? He will also try to use some kinds of medical terms in his speech. So like this, we are using the vocabulary, and that kind of using of the vocabulary, it depends on we are belonging from which stream. Okay, if we are belonging from the business, so we need to use these words, and at the same time, if we are belonging also from the word of industry, so in industry, the words like the innovation, okay, exports, imports, okay, suppliers, telecommunications, textile, machinery. So these are all the various kinds of words that are used in an industry. So in your coming future, you are going to work in an industry. So while working in that industry, you should know the basic words, okay, like the telecommunication, like the export, okay. So the knowledge of these basic words is definitely trying to helpful to us. So like here also the whatever kinds of words which we are using in our industry. So like this also we want to use some of the words that we are also using in our spoken communication, the words which we are using in our day-to-day communication. So for now you all are students, you all are now living the life of your academic. Now it's your academic life. You all are doing your graduation, and in your coming future you are also going to do your PG. Okay, then for you will also do your research. So whenever we are in any one of the field, if we are in the academic field, so we should also know what are the various kinds of words that we are going to use in our academic life. So like this, we are using the various kinds of words in our in our administration, in our background, capability, dimension, email, literate, recognition, knowledge. So these are the various kinds of words which we are using in our spoken communication. So that's why now I would like to give the second tips to all of you, that in the second tips, what you can do whenever you are reading any one of the book, it can be any one of the newspaper, it can be any one of the reference book. So while reading that book, you try to find out the word that you don't know the meaning of, hard word. just make the list of these words. And whenever you are going to make the list of all these words, write that word, write the various kinds of synonyms of that word. And at the same time, framework one sentence about that word, then it will be a very easiest way to enrich our vocabulary. So that's why using the words, use it to enriching the vocabulary, you should want to first of all know your context, whether you are in the industry, whether you are in a business. So which kinds of words that we want to select. Okay, why we are habituated to read the words, why we are also habituated to listen the various kinds of songs, because these words from that particular song are trying to touch to us. Okay, so that's why we want to take care about the words, how we are going to select the words, and we are going to select the words according to our context. Okay, is it clear to you? Are you getting it?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so
Yes,
now
sir.
let us
Yes,
try
sir.
to
Yes, sir.
understand
Yes, sir.
what are the various kinds of ways are there to enrich our vocabulary. Okay, so I'm sure that whatever kinds of ways I'm trying to present here, so directly from the today you are trying to implement these various kinds of ways to enrich your vocabulary. Okay, so whenever you are trying to implement this, all the various kinds of ways to enrich your vocabulary, then after I'm definitely sure that you are going to do the proper kind of communication. You are going to do, you are going to, you are going to improve your spoken communication. So that's why let us try to know what are the various kinds of ways to enrich our vocabulary. So we have the first way, and in this first way, what exactly as we can do here. So we can ask some of the questions to our students, and we can tell to our students what is your favorite word. We are asking to anyone which is your favorite novel, okay, which is your favorite movie, okay, which is your favorite author. So like this we can ask to anyone which is your favorite word. Okay, whenever you are asking to anyone, then that person he will tell you that he likes the word like immense, he likes the word enlightenment. So in this way you will try to accumulate, you will try to know the more and more words. Okay, so what we can exactly do, we can ask to our students, which is your favorite word. Okay, if it is a cricket, so speak about the word cricket, whatever you exactly think about it. If the favorite any one of the movies there, okay, so that person is going to speak about that movie. It can be the Three Idiots also. So he is going to speak about particular that movie. Okay, if you like any one of the book most, so what exactly you can do, you can speak about that book. Okay, so in this way you want to make first of all the list of your favorite words, the words which we are using. Okay, the words like accumulate, enhance, okay, innovation. So these like this, so you want to find out your own list of the words. Okay, what are the your favorite words. You want to just first of all make the list of all these words, and I am sure that making the list of these words is going to be very helpful to you whenever you are going to do your one kind of communication. Okay, whenever you are going to do your one kind of interaction. Then second, the way to enrich our vocabulary that we can say here. So the second way is nothing but it is a one kind of writing the various kinds of definitions. So when we are able to framework the definitions, whenever we know the more and more vocabulary, whenever we know the more and more words, if someone is asking to you what is meant by mobile, so you may be able to define that mobile. Okay, mobile is nothing but it is a one kind of machine that we use to do a communication. So like this, whenever you are getting any one kind of concept, whenever you are trying to get any one kind of work, whenever you are also moving also, if you are also in doing your traveling from Kolhapur to Mumbai, so in your traveling, whatever kind of words that you are getting, whatever you are also observing, okay, from your train. So you want to just try to framework these definitions. Okay, whenever you will try to framework the definition, then at that time I'm sure that you will try to first of all think in English. And whenever you are trying to think in English, at that time you are trying to gather the words and you are trying to analyze the things, then you are trying to define the things. So that's why I try to define the things. It can be anything. You can also take the watch and try to define what is meant by watch. Okay, what is meant by mouse? What is meant by laptop? Okay, what is meant by cultivation? Especially those students who are from the agricultural sector, agricultural field, they know about the word what is meant by cultivation. Okay, those who are belonging from the chemistry, so they exactly know what is meant by organic. And those who are belonging from the industrial field, so they know about what is meant by laptop, what is meant by hardware, what is meant by software. So like this is the easiest way. Try to define the things. And that kind of trying to define the things, whenever we are trying to define the things, then we are frameworking our mind towards any one of the concept, towards any one of the term. And this is going to be very helpful to you. So from today, whatever you are going to observe, so just try to define it in a very proper way. Okay, so then another way that I would like to present in front of you, that we should have one kind of habit to use the notebook. We should have our own personal notebook. Those who are poets, those who are shaires, what exactly they are trying to do? They have their own notebooks, and in their own notebooks they are used to write their poems. Okay, they are trying to write also whatever they feel. So like this, we can also say that you can also be habituated, take any one of the notebook, whatever kinds of activities that you have done in a complete day. So try to just note all these things in your notebook. So that is called as a रोजनिशी in the Marathi. रोज आपण काय काय करतो, त्या ऍक्टिव्हिटी जेव्हा आपण एखाद्या नोटबुक मध्ये नोंद करतो त्याला आपण रोजनिशी म्हणतो. रोजनिशी we can call it as a रोजनिशी. Okay, so like this, whenever we are trying to maintain a one kind of personal notebook or the personal diary, it is going to be very helpful to you to note down the new words, write that word in your diary, and try to also write the meaning of that word, and write also the one example about that. And this is trying to helpful to you to enrich your vocabulary. Okay, so then we should know about the form, meaning, and the usage of that word. So we should have the knowledge about the form, means it is related with the linguistics. Whenever I am saying the word, I want to improve the communication skills of the students. So while using this word, I have used here one kind of particular kind of form. Form means it is nothing but it is a one kind of structure. It is a one kind of grammatical structure in which we can use the subject plus verb, subject plus verb plus object, subject plus verb plus object plus complement. There are the 7 kinds of ways are there, okay, to frame up the sentence, okay, to write the sentence. So we should have the knowledge about how to form the structure, and at the same time how we are also trying to create the meanings, how we are trying to understand the meaning of that particular line, of that particular word, and lastly we may be able to use that word in our day-to-day life. So this is one of the easiest way to improve our vocabulary. Okay, we should know whether that word is the noun or the verb, okay, or the interjection or the conjunction. Then what is the meaning of that word and how we are trying to use that word in our day-to-day life. Okay, so like this, the form of the knowledge, we should also have the extensive and one kind of intensive reading. So here I would like to present in front of you one quotation. This is presented by Francis Bacon. He says that reading makes a man, conference says ready a man, and writing an exact man. So that's why we want to understand one kind of importance of the reading. Whenever you are reading, you want to just read it without any purpose. Just read for a fun, just read for entertainment, just read for to create one kind of your interest in the reading. So that is called as a one kind of extensive reading without any one kind of purpose whenever you are reading. So you can do a one kind of extensive reading also without any one kind of purpose. Just read for the fun, read for the entertainment, just read for what are the news that you are going to know here. Okay, so at the same time, try to also read with the one kind of intention. So whenever we want to read, so there are the various kinds of ways of the reading. Extensive reading, intensive reading, we have also the loud reading, we have also, okay, the silent reading, we have also the skimming, scanning. So there are the various kinds of ways of the reading. So whenever we are reading any one kind of reference book, so the reading of the reference book is very important to us. Why it is very important? Because whenever we are reading any one of the reference book, some of the corporate magazines which are also available in our library. Just yesterday I have visited our library and I found that some corporate magazines are also there in our library. So you can also utilize these corporate magazines. Some reference books are there. So reading of all these reference books, journals, magazines, it is trying to improve your vocabulary. Okay, whether you are belonging from the agricultural field and if you are reading any one of the journal, if you are also reading any one of the article, so here you will know the various kinds of words that we are exactly using. Okay, we are using in the journal or it can be in any one of the magazine also. We can also read the magazine India Today. So in that magazine, whatever kinds of latest things are happening, so the information is given about it. It can be the related with political, okay, related with technology, related with the sports, related with fashion, related with anything. So if you want to reach our vocabulary, then you want to do a one kind of extensive reading. You want to read something from the science, you want to read something from the agricultural field, you want to also read something from the literature. So the reading of various kinds of material is also going to useful to us to improve our vocabulary, to improve our communication. Okay, so also we also want to try to learn some kinds of unknown words and some kinds of more kinds of useful words that we are finding in any one of the newspaper, that we are finding in any one of the reference book. Then the last again we have the one point, that is the vocabulary race. So what exactly we do? We play the whenever we also play the one kind of game in which we are singing one kind of song in Hindi or in Marathi. One of the person he will say, the next person he will also sing a song, whatever kind of last word he has. So like that we can also arrange a one kind of vocabulary race. For example, if in our class Rohit is there, Rohit he will say the first of all the word KNOWLEDG. Okay, whatever kind of last word he is getting, the another person. Okay, if the Ravi is there, then the Ravi he will also try to tell the word that will begin from the letter E. So in this way the game will going on. So like this vocabulary race that we can also organize, and through our vocabulary race also we are trying to enrich our vocabulary. Okay, so that's why I'm sure that from today you will try to whatever kinds of new words you are trying to find, you will try to define, you will try to note in your notebook, and at the same time you will try to know about the linguistic part of that word, the structural part of that word, okay, and how we are also using that word and what kind of meaning here we have created, and how one kind of intensive and extensive reading is going to helpful to us to enrich our vocabulary. Then here we have some of the remaining parts, and these are all the parts which are also related with our what are the various kinds of ways to enrich our vocabulary. So we can tell any one of the crazy story to anyone. Crazy story means the story which you have frame out. It is your own story. Okay, in which there is a one kind of fun, there is a one kind of interest that you have created, or you can also create the stories through your experience. So try to tell the stories to the people. Okay, those who are the good kinds of writers like the Chaucer, if we are also reading the Canterbury Tales at present time. So crazy how they are trying to narrate the things. Communication is nothing but, spoken communication is nothing but it is the part of how we are trying to narrate the things. How here we are trying to define the things. Okay, so try to be habituated to narrate the stories, to narrate the jokes also. You can crack the jokes to your friends also. So that kind of cracking the jokes, that kind of presenting the crazy kind of stories to your friends is going to helpful to you to enrich your vocabulary. Then we are also habituated to read the various kinds of newspapers. Okay, if you are habituated to read the Hindu newspaper, so in this Hindu newspaper we found that here the various kinds of crosswords which are provided to us. So try to solve the various kinds of crosswords. Okay, so this is going to improve our vocabulary. Okay, then at the same time, another way is also given to us to improve our vocabulary. Here some kinds of words will be given to you and these words will be misplaced here and there. And your work will be to rearrange these words in a proper format. You want to keep the structural part of that sentence in the mind. You want to keep the semantic part and the syntactic part in your mind, and according to that you want to try to arrange these things in a very proper way. For example, here I have written the word example like want work, reputed to in industry. So like this, any words will be given here and there. So your work will be, you want to just try to arrange these words to make a one complete kind of sentence. So the same words which here we have used, here it is written like this: I want to work in reputed industry. So like this, we want to learn how we are also trying to rearrange the words in a very proper way. Okay, if you are preparing for the competitive exams, in all these competitive exams also, some words will be given to you, and in all these words, some kinds of common errors will be there, and your work will be to find out the common words. Okay, so like this also, we can also create some kinds of vocabulary cards, especially in the reality shows, those who are anchor here. So these anchors, what exactly they are using? They are using some kinds of cards, okay, to speak about their dialogues or while asking the questions to them. In the Sawal 10 crore ka also, okay. So they are using these various kinds of cards. So like this, we can also use the various kinds of cards. Okay, we played the as a fun, we play the cards. So like this, we can also frame out the cards at our home also. We can take the various kinds of sheets, and on these sheets we can create, first of all, make the list of various kinds of words. You can add these various kinds of words, stick on that page. Okay, then you can also make the proper kind of bunch of 1000 words, the cards like this. Then whenever your friends are coming at your home to meet you or to spend some kind of valuable time with you, so at that time you can just use these cards and you can just play that kind of game through these kinds of vocabulary cards. So in this way we are going to learn the vocabulary, okay, with an intention or without intention. Okay, without any taking tension, without in a simplest way, we want to work on our vocabulary. So that's why vocabulary cards that we can also use. Okay, then at the same time, for example, if you are also sitting in the class, while sitting in the class also, your work will be, you want to try to find out the words that we are observing in our class. We are observing we have the fan, okay, we have the desktop, we have the table. So like this, whenever you are going, you may be also in any one of the movie theater also, try to see what are the words which you are getting. So these are the easiest way to enrich our vocabulary. Okay, if you are also in the journey, in your journey also try to observe in a very minute way in your surrounding area, and through that try to learn, try to know the more and more words. Okay, so one of the easiest way also to improve our vocabulary that we can say here, that try to know the similar words. Okay, if you know the one word friend, so for the word friend, we have also the colleague, we have also the word comrade. So like this, try to know the various kinds of synonyms of that word. Okay, here I have put an example like amazing. So correlated with the word amazing, we have also the synonyms of this word as incredible, unbelievable. So like this, we want to know the synonyms of these words. Okay, so like the synonyms also, we should also try to learn also what are the various kinds of antonyms of that word, the words which we are using in our written form of the communication, and at the same time the words which we are also using in our spoken form of the communication. So we want to try to learn the various kinds of opposite words of it. If some of the students they want to prepare for the IELTS exam, okay, for the TOEFL exam. So in all these exams, in MPSC, UPSC exams also, they are trying to give you some similar words, synonyms words, some antonyms words. Okay, so here I have put an example like artificial. So the opposite word of the artificial will be the natural. We also the one capable. So the antonym of this word capable will be the incapable. So like this, we also want to make a one kind of list of the one word substitution. So one word substitution, whenever we are trying to also make the list of one word substitution, it is also trying to helpful to you. It is like the defining the things. When I say the word mouse, you may be able to do the define the mouse. That's it. Like this, whenever we also say the one word psychology. So here in the word psychology, what is meant by psychology? Psychology is nothing but it is the one kind of study of the human mind. So this is a one word substitution. When we are using the word like the lexicography in our day-to-day communication. So while using this word lexicography in our day-to-day communication, it is nothing but this is a one kind of practice of writing English dictionaries. So like this, we also want to make the list of one word substitution, and this kind of list of making the one word substitution is going to also helpful to us to enrich our vocabulary here. Then if we also want to improve our vocabulary, so it is the need of the time that we try to learn the roots of various kinds of words, the words which we are using knowingly, unknowingly, with an intention and without intention in our day-to-day life. Okay, so we want to learn the root of the words. So whenever we are trying to study about the words, as we know that the words are formed from the syllable, okay, and the phrases which are also formed from the words, and the clauses are formed from the phrases, and the sentences are formed from the clauses. So this is the one kind of structure, and whenever we are going to study particularly about the words, it is included in the morphology, the structure of the words. Okay, so in the structure of the words, first of all, the prefix will be there. Prefix, root, and the suffix. Prefix means some kinds of words will be here, which are using here at the beginning of the root word, that is called as the prefix. Then we are using the root, and after the root also we are using the suffix. So prefix means it will come at the beginning. Here we can see the example. The one picture is given to us, anti. So this is called as the one kind of prefix that we are using. Here the word de is written. So this is nothing but it is a one kind of prefix that is used here. Okay, anti, like the antithesis. Okay, here the word D is written, DE dash decode. We know the decoding when we do the decoding. Okay, decoding is done by the receiver, as we know that we have learned in communication. So like this, we are using these various kinds of prefixes, anti, like de, okay, dis, em, okay, en, okay, ion, so inter. So these are the various kinds of prefixes that we are using. Okay, in the de, decode, in the dis, disconnect, Okay, in the en we are using the encounter. Okay, so ion, this is one kind of prefix word, and we are using it as a infield. Okay, inter means international, interact. So these are all the prefixes that we have used here. For example, I will give you the one example in the word interact. So inter, this is called as a prefix, and act, this is called as the root. Okay, so we are using the prefix at the beginning of the word, and we are using the suffix at the ending of the word. So as we can see here in our uh, picture, we are using the suffixes like dash age, dash ance. Okay, so dash age, wreckage. Okay, here the word ag, it is which is added at the last, so that's why it is called as the suffix. Okay, then dash ant, assistant. Okay, dash ee, referee. Okay, so like that, dash enc, dash eror, dash evy. So like this, we are using the various kinds of prefixes. We are adding this various kinds of prefixes and suffixes to the root. Root means nothing but it will be considered as our main word. Okay, it is nothing but it is considered as our main word, okay, or our main verb we can also call here. So that is the understanding of the root. Whenever you know the more and more roots, then we can framework the various kinds of words, and we can improve our vocabulary. So that's why we should know the more and more roots of any one of the words. So what you can do as a fun today, after completing our class, you can just search the list of various kinds of root of words that we are using in our day-to-day communication. So whenever you try to know the more and more roots, then it will be considered as the easiest way to enrich our vocabulary. Then, as we know that this is the word of information and technology. This is the word of science, and in this word of the technology, we are habituated to use the various kinds of social media, in which we are using the Twitter, Facebook, WhatsApp, Telegram. So like all these things, we are also using various kinds of blogs are written at present time. So these blogs are written by the expertise who are belonging from that particular field. Okay, if someone is belonging from the agricultural field, if someone is belonging from the technical field, so this expertise, these expert persons, they are trying to write the various kinds of blogs. On the internet, we are able to find out the various kinds of blogs, and we should be habituated to read the various kinds of posts that are written in that blog. Okay, so here one example is also given to us. 5 common problems that were in the raw water treatment and how to avoid them. So like this, they are selecting any one of the problem from the industry, and they are writing the information about it. Okay, so the blogs are written on the various kinds of subjects. Okay, whether related with the latest topics, okay, whether related with commerce, whether related with an industry. So you may be habituated to read these various kinds of blogs of distinguished persons. So the reading of all these various kinds of blogs will be going to helpful to you to enrich our vocabulary in a very proper way, in a very systematic way, and the same thing is also going to helpful to you to do the proper kind of communication. And with the addition of all these ways, what we can also do, that we can also do the practice of listening. Various kinds of audio dictionaries are also available on the internet, so we are habituated to listen the various kinds of songs also. So like the songs, we can also listen some kinds of audio dictionaries whenever we are at our home, not in our journey. Okay, so we want to habituated to listen the various kinds of audio dictionaries. Okay, we can also listen some kinds of music also in English. We can also listen the various kinds of songs in English. Okay, and we can also attend the various kinds of virtual events which are organized by the corporate world, which are organized by the various kinds of colleges, various kinds of institutions, various kinds of universities also. So we want to uh, attend these all kinds of various kinds of virtual events, and that is going to very helpful to us to enrich our one kind of vocabulary. So that's why whenever we are listening more and more, okay, then we are also improving our cognitive abilities. At the same time, we are also trying to improve our framework, and we are also trying to use the various kinds of words also in our day-to-day communication through our listening. Okay, so then we can also watch the various kinds of movies in English, various kinds of TV shows. Okay, various kinds of reality shows that we have. Whenever we are watching any one of the English movies, so we can also read the dialogues. Okay, we can also read the dialogues, we can also read the titles, and that kind of reading the titles, it is going to helpful to us to frame up the simple and the short sentences in our written form of the communication. So that's why while watching the various kinds of movies, okay, we can improve our vocabulary and try to also note it. Then another way to improve our vocabulary, what exactly we can do, we can also do our communication, we can do our conversation with some of the native English speakers. And whenever we are trying to do our communication with native English speakers like the John, Julia, so we are trying to improve our command over the language. If you want to become a fluent, if we want to improve your vocabulary, so to improve our vocabulary here, one kind of interaction, one kind of conversation with native speakers is going to helpful to us. Then again we want to do the practice, practice and practice. Okay, we want to repeat, repeat and repeat. So the repetition is considered as one of the important tool, and that kind of tool is also going to helpful to us to eradicate that kind of problem or to overcome on any one of the problem. If you want to give the good kind of presentation also, so you want to do the more and more practice. Okay, so you want to repeat the vocabulary again and again and again and again in your written form and in your spoken form of the communication. Then you are going to improve your vocabulary in an easiest way. Then we are to also want to learn how to analyze the vocabulary in a particular context. Okay, if you are in the class, then what kinds of words we are going to use. If you are in a business, if you are in working in any one of the agricultural fields, so while working according to our context, we are going to analyze our vocabulary, and it is considered as one of the important quality of an engineer, or one of the important quality of any one of the person who is working in industry, that we want to observe the things. Through our observation, try to gain the knowledge, especially whenever we want to do one kind of practical. So while doing our practical, we want to learn the things through our observation. So like this also, whenever you are moving in any one of the new city, it can be the Pune, Bangalore, New York. So try to observe the things. Okay, try to observe the things through your observation also. You are also trying to get the too many words. Whenever we are going in the any one of the mall, okay, in the DMart, okay, in the Varna Bazaar also, it is very famous at Kolhapur. So we want to know what are the various kinds of sections are there, what are various kinds of words that we found specially in that mall. Okay, so we want to make the minute observation. It is one of the quality of any one of the student who is trying to observe the things. observation is trying to improve your industrial life. Okay, so we want to learn, we want to make one kind of observation. Through our observation also, here we are able to improve our vocabulary, and this kind of improving our vocabulary is going to helpful to us. Okay, like this also, various kinds of applications are also available. Okay, in our Google Play Store, like the Duolingo, Memorize, okay, Quiz Up. So these applications we want to use, and like this also we can also habituated to learn a new day. Okay, so that kind of learning a new word is going to helpful to us to improve our vocabulary. Then as a fun, we can also make the vocabulary text of our own, and in this way we are going to improve our vocabulary. So like this, now we are at the final part of our today's class. Some kinds of games which are provided to us. So among all these games, we have the first kind of game. So we can call to this game as a word train talking game. And what are the requirements of this game? In this game, we required some friends, and we just required one kind of dictionary. Already you have the friends, and I am sure that you have also the various kinds of dictionaries at your home. It can be the Oxford Dictionary, okay, it can be the Cambridge Learners Dictionary. So whatever kinds of dictionaries which you have. So especially what is going to happen in this game, it is a very easiest and very funniest kind of game. In this game, what here exactly the first player he will try to do. Here the first player, he is going to start the game. He will name the particular word like the friend. Then what the next person he will try to do, the next player who has taken the participation in that game. So the next person, he will try to write the spelling of that word friend. He will write the word friend, and later on he will try to give the definition about what is meant by friend. And related with the friend, what are the various kinds of synonyms are there. Okay, comrade, like the colleague. So whatever kinds of synonyms words are given for that word, he will just try to find out. And if here the second player, if he is unable to say that word, then at that time he can use the dictionary, and he can use the dictionary, and he can say the word that is going to start from the word D. He will read the word D. That word can be like, for example, decode. Okay, decolonization. So whatever kind of last word is also getting, then the another person, he can also select that next word, whatever kind of final letter he is getting, then he will say that word decode. Again the E will come, then he will use the word, he will say the word employment. Then again the T will come, then the another player, he will give the answer from the last letter T, like a tentative. Okay, then again the E word will come, and if any one of the player he is unable to say that word, then that player will be out of team. Okay, that player will be stumped. Like this, you want to continue your game, and those who will be remain at the last, they will be considered as the first, second, and the third winner in that game. So this is the easiest way, and this is the funniest way to improve our vocabulary. That is called as the word train talking game. Okay, here you are also getting the training, and we just need only friends and dictionary. Already you have the friends, and you already did the dictionary with you. So today I'm sure that as a fun, okay, so you are going to play this game. So are you going to play this game today also after reaching at home? Okay, I'm sure that you are going to play this game, and I'm sure that this playing is also going to helpful to us to improve our vocabulary. Okay, so like this, we also the another kind of activity. Okay, in this activity also we also required the 2 friends or 3 friends or 4 friends. So according to our group, we can also play this kind of very interesting and a very funniest kind of game also. Okay, so that is called as the vocabulary text tag. Okay, so what here exactly again you want to do? We want to find out one kind of friend, and we want to find out one kind of friend who wants to improve their vocabulary, and we can form our team for a week. It depends on you. You can form your team also for the 15 days, for 1 month also, for 1 year also. You decide for how many days you are going to play that game. It depends on you. Okay, so what we want to do on the first day? Okay, any one of the friend, what exactly he is trying to do? He will try to send one kind of text message to any one of the friend, any one of the new word, that if the 2 persons are there. Okay, one is the Sneha and another is the Rupali. If Sneha, she is sending one kind of message to the Rupali, she will send the one kind of word to the Rupali, that Rupali, she don't know that word, some kind of difficult word she will send to her friend. Then here once again the Rupali, she will give the reply of that word only within 24 hours. What is the meaning of that word, or what are the various kinds of synonyms of that word to her? Okay, she will respond to that word within 24 hours. Then again the Sneha, she will send also the another new word to her. Then again she will send the meaning of that word to her. Okay, she will also try to find out the meaning of that word, and she will also try to send the meaning of that word. Okay, so in this way this game will be continued, that is called as the vocabulary text tag. And in this game we are texting to our friend. Okay, so we are texting to our friends, so through the WhatsApp also, through Telegram also, we can play this game, and playing this game can be very useful to us. And this is also one of the easiest way to improve our vocabulary, and this is going to be a very helpful to us. So like this also, we are also habituated to play the various kinds of games. Okay, so among all these games, what exactly we can do? We can also play the game of vocabulary spinner. Vocabulary spinner is nothing but it is one kind of prints out that we want to take. One kind of spinner will be there, and in that spinner it is written, the content is written in this spinner, as we can see here in our figure. Like spell it means we want to write the spelling of that word. Draw it means we can also draw the picture also. If someone is asking to you the word, someone is asking to you the word podium, so you can write the spelling of that word podium. Then you can draw the picture of the podium. After drawing the picture of the podium, you can also framework one kind of sentence also in your own language. Okay, podium is used in an auditorium. Okay, like this we can write also the one sentence about this word, and after writing that word also, we can also act about it. Means again we can come on the dais. Okay, then we can come in front of an audience who is sitting in front of us, and then we can say that word. That is called as the act. And after acting also, we can also define the word, what is meant by podium, what are the synonyms of that word podium, and what are the antonyms of that word podium. So this will be a very interesting kind of game that is considered as the vocabulary spinner. Okay, after completing our lecture, I will also share the same PPT with you, so you can also take the prints out of this, and you can also play this game at your home. Okay, whenever you will be among your friends. So how this game is played? So as I said you earlier that again here in this game you want to take the prints out of this vocabulary spinner game. Okay, this game is also used to play the to use the various kinds of words also. So whatever you want to just turn that, and whatever kind of turn your friend is getting, whether is it whether is it antonyms, synonyms, or whether is it acting, or whether is it drawing the picture of that particular word. So that is going to be very easiest to us. Okay, whatever kind of wheel we are getting, so according to that we want to play the same game continuously. We want to define, we want to draw, and we also want to act it. So these are all the funniest ways to enrich our vocabulary. And if we are trying to play these kinds of games, definitely I'm sure that we are going to improve our vocabulary. So with the addition of this also, we have the various kinds of word board games, and these kinds of word board games which are also available on the online stores. Okay, so these are all the various kinds of word board games which are available on online. Maybe you want to give the money for these games, so it depends on you. Whether you want to invest, you can invest and start. Okay, so these are all the various kinds of word board games which are available on online stores, okay, which you want to purchase. Okay, so it depends on you. Then we have also online word games, okay, like this text twist, wheel of fortune, word cookies, word scapes. So these are all the things. As just you can search on the internet and try to, if you get the time, if you want to invest your money, then you can play these various kinds of games. Then like this also, various kinds of applications are also available in the Google Play Store. Okay, so we can also habituated to use these various kinds of word applications, like the we also one kind of tool that is considered as a word finder. Okay, that can be also available on our mobile and on our desktop or laptop, whatever we have used. Okay, whatever we have, so this can be used as our kind of resource to get the information about all these words. And we also want to make the list of all these words and try to learn the new word each day. With addition of this also, we have also the ELSA. Okay, ELSA, this is also one of the application that is available. So we can also use that kind of application also. ELSA, Merriam-Webster's dictionary is also available on the Google Play Store. Okay, Oxford dictionary is also available. Some dictionaries where you want to pay the premium. Okay, so we can use the word premiums. With addition of this also, we can also use the Longman's Dictionary of Contemporary English. This is available online. Okay, Longman's Dictionary of Contemporary English. Okay, and with addition of this also, I would like to suggest you some of the recommended dictionaries that we can utilize, that we can use to improve our vocabulary. So I would like to recommend to all of you that you can go through the Advanced Cambridge Learners Dictionary, and I have also gone through this dictionary twice, and I'm sure that the reading of this dictionary is going to helpful to us. In this dictionary, the words which are collected and added in this dictionary which we are using in our day-to-day life. Okay, don't read any words, just take the dictionary and don't read any words. Read some selective words that we are using in our day-to-day communication. The words that we are using in our spoken communication at the primary level. Okay, if you are facing various kinds of problems too, do your communication in English language. So at the primary level, what is important to you? So I would recommend to you that read the advanced Cambridge Learners Dictionary. Then read also the Roger Thesaurus. This is a very famous kind of book, Roger Thesaurus, in which you will find out various kinds of synonyms of that word and various kinds of antonyms of that words are given to us. And with addition of this also, we are habituated to use the Oxford English Dictionary and Merriam-Webster Dictionary. So I also want to show you on the online mode the dictionary which is available to us. Longman's Dictionary of Contemporary English. So as we can see here, Longman's Dictionary of Contemporary English is also available on Google. So whenever we are getting the time, so as a for extensive reading, we can also read the various kinds of words which are given to us. It is available online without any cost. Okay, so we can read the various kinds of words are written. Okay, which we can go through here. Here the word of the day is given. Today's word is the compromise, and these are the various kinds of topics will be also given. Like this, they are also providing the pictures of the day. Okay, so like this also they are giving the various kinds of exercises, quizzes to us. So whenever you are getting the time, just go through this Longman's Dictionary of Contemporary English online, and this is going to be very helpful to us. Okay. So what exactly we have done in our today's lecture? Just I want to revise it. Okay. First of all, we have discussed about what is meant by vocabulary. Vocabulary, how the vocabulary is very important to us to improve our spoken communication, to improve our language, and how we have also discussed how the words are taken from the various kinds of languages like the Latin, French, and if we want to improve our linguistics abilities, then how the effective kind of vocabulary which is going to helpful to you to use in our day-to-day life to achieve our functional, conversational, and literary abilities, and why we are also using the vocabulary for one kind of specific purpose, in which we have discussed about that how we are using the vocabulary according to the context and according to our stream, like the business, industry, and the spoken English. Then we have focused on various kinds of ways to enrich our vocabulary, in which we have discussed so many points like frameworking the various kinds of definitions. Okay, how to mention the names in our mention the words in our notebook, in our diary, and how to do ask the to anyone the favorite words, and how the various kinds of words are formed, and why the one kind of reading is very important to us, the intensive and extensive kind of reading. And we can also play the vocabulary race like the various kinds of songs, and we can also tell the funniest and the craziest story to anyone. Try to do the narration, try to narrate the stories, and try to solve the various kinds of cross words that we found in Hindu newspaper, and try to rearrange the various kinds of words. We can also prepare the various kinds of vocabulary cards, and how we can also focus on antonyms, synonyms, and one word substitution, and how if we want to reach our vocabulary, the easiest way is try to learn the root of words. Whenever you are trying to learn the roots of various words, then we can utilize and we can use these words in our written form of the communication and at the same time in our oral form of the communication. Whenever I am saying the oral form, so you want to understand that this is a one kind of spoken form of our communication, or it is a one kind of spoken English. Okay, so how in the today's world of the technology, how we want to be habituated to read the various kinds of blogs, posts, okay, and how watching the movies and doing the practice and conversation and a minute observation, that is going to be helpful to us, and how we can also use the various kinds of applications, and how we are going to play also the various funniest game like the word train tracking game. Okay, then vocabulary text tag and how the vocabulary spinner. Okay, so these were all the various kinds of games and whatever kinds of play fun online word board games which are available to us. Okay, and whatever kinds of word applications which are available, and how we are going to use also the Longman's Dictionary of Contemporary English. Okay, and what are the recommended books that we are going to use. So this was the gist of our today's lecture. So I'm sure that this discussion can be the fruitful, which you can utilize whenever you are trying to do one kind of communication. So thank you for your patience and for listening me. And I'm sure that in our coming session also, I'm also going to deal with any one of the important problem that students are facing. Okay, so I'm sure that whatever kinds of various kinds of ways that I have presented to you to improve our vocabulary. So I'm sure that you are going to utilize these various kinds of ways to improve your vocabulary and to become a confident kind of speaker, to become a good kind of orator. I want to see you all of you as a good kind of speaker, as a good kind of presenter, as a good kind of employee in an industry. Okay, so I'm sure that you will cooperate me and you will take the active participation in all the activities that we are going to also engage. So thank you all of you. Be here. I want to take here to our attendance.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Be here just
Bye,
for
sir.
10 minutes. I want to discuss with you whatever kinds of problem also you have in your communication. So be here.